Amnam, in truth, however, Sheresh Sibas Hadover, the root that brings about, that causes the phenomenon, Shehoires Boim Beginnis Mitzius, that the oiris translate on a Mitzius fashion level. When they become imbued in the kelim. We would think that this is what was caused, that this is due to the kelim. The kelim are the effect that transform the oiris to their level, to their grasp. He says no. The real root that enables this to occur is entirely something different. Who it is? Okay, this is a very powerful summary. It is due to the fact that Shoroshi Ha'oiris, the oiris in their very root. Let's talk about root for a moment. Amen. Like we said many times, I'd like to discuss this, roots. So many times, you lie in bed, and it's daytime, and you tell yourself, it's time to get up. As I said many times, that you can tell yourself 100 times it's time to get up. It's not going to get you up. There's some kind of an internal, a deeper force that says, that doesn't say get up, time to get up. Get up. Time to get up doesn't do it. That's a rational statement. Time to get up. That's seichel, but that does not pick you up. What is actually, where is this get up rooted in your nefesh?
Modiani?
That gets you up, huh?
Modiani?
What's that? That gets you up. Now that we started, I'd like to discuss it in somewhat of a detail. There are two phenomena that take place during this process. One is, I'm in the wrong place. I'm not supposed to be lying in bed. This is not the place where I'm supposed to be. Time to get up. Then there is the other thing is, where am I supposed to be? This is not where I'm supposed to be, but where am I supposed to be? So you would think, this is what the Rebbe is explaining, you would think that when you say, where am I supposed to be, that first materializes after you get up, and you look around, and you have the impact of being in the world. So he says, okay, here's where I'm supposed to be. But the Rebbe says that's not the case. The real force that gets you out of bed is not where you're not supposed to be, but where you are supposed to be. You are projecting, you know where you're supposed to be before you even meet up in this place. You see a poor person in need, and that arouses you to go and do something. You would think that the reason that what motivates you, what gets you so active and aroused to go and do something, because you see this suffering person. The real source of this impact is that before you even saw him, you have a relationship with him. There is a greater sense of reality in a person than we give him credit for. A person is not focused internally to himself. He has a greater relationship to the entire reality, to the godly reality. This is what ultimately brings about the surfacing of this connection, and that's why you respond to it. And as we say all the time, the proof for this is that when you actually go out and you give him the dollar, you don't feel like you stepped out of your world. You belong there. Why did he belong there? You just now discovered this person? Because you had a relationship way before you even discovered it. This is what the Rebbe says.
Right, so this Shorish Hasiba, we're saying it has to do with the mashma of the bed or giving tzedakah has to do with knowing where you are, knowing where you're meant to be.
That's right. You have a relationship to the place where you end up way before you recognize it. As a matter of fact, that relationship is what gets you out of your bed.
And that has to do with kavanah or ratzon or something.
That has to do with, yes. This is what the Rebbe says. The real cause that the oiros become a metzius. A metzius means that they actually relate to the kelim, to the phenomenon of the kelim. What kelim need. In other words, in our mashal, you see the poor person, and you have pity on him, and you take out $1 and give him. This taking out $1 is identified, you would think, in the factual world, not in an internal thought in you. Your internal thought, as we spoke many times, is your concern, is your feeling of compassion. There's no dollars and cents in the feeling of compassion. So the Rebbe says no. That the real reason that ultimately this compassion can be translated in $1 is that in this compassion there is a sense that I want to actually come down to his level. This is what it said, the second line, that in the very root of the oiros is that Ein Sof projected to be impacting the middle gvul in a measured, in a limited fashion level. This is the root. This is the initial force behind the whole process. Even though you talk about Oyer Ein Sof. The Besav HaHamshocho, excuse me, the Besav HaHamshocho, as we explained, the Besav HaHamshocho, that at the very end of the Hamshocha of these Oyres, we're talking about the Shoyres of there. At the end of the Hamshocha, Hainu B'Bechinat HaShetach, which is the Bechina of Shetach, because it says there is Nekuda, Kav, and Shetach. Shetach is the third level. Shetach is where it spreads out in the Mitzvahs. In this Bechina Shetach, Mizgala Bechina Hagbola, that is where the Bechina, the aspect of Hagbola, the limit, and of the focus of the oil, that is contained that begins in the earth's root. That is where it comes to full revelation and to full surface. That is in the shoyrich, in the root, and in during the process. But what is the process? In the process of the development of it, which is the kav. All the things, all the deep force that initially has the shoyrich and then goes through the process of the kav, misgale, comes to the focus, bechinas hoin sof shebishorshon. In the shetach, this is where, but the insert that is in the very root comes to full impact, to full revelation. Ve'api hanal, and therefore on the basis of this presentation, of this insight, Yuva we can understand, as I said in the beginning, in the end of the Maimer, Masha Koso Mimono, but the Potter said Mimono Afa Yankiv, or Misvaras Reva Yisrael. They explained the two union of Yankiv and Yisrael. Okay, this is the kitzur. I know this brings up a lot of depth that we haven't touched before. Should we do it just for completion purposes?
What's the background here? This was added by the Rebbe after it was completed, or this was years later?
You guys need a bag for the second ones, or it's not necessary? I have a second bag.
You can leave it here. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Let's have the first one. I've been putting together. Aleph. You too, Zamatzliach. So, should we go for this? This is going to take us a couple of weeks. Unless we just say the words. Ubihoyenehu. V'hinei b'derech klal yesh gimel madreges beiris. From a general perspective, overall, there are three madreges in Eiris. Clearly, this derech klal means because actually there is unlimited madreges in Eiris. But in general, to be able to identify it and give it a place, there's three madrigas in this. Madriga ho'alav, the first madriga hein ho'oiros, this is the oiros k'mei hein klulim ba'ir in soy boru. Lifnei hatzimtzum, the oiros are still incorporated in the oir in soy boru. Lifnei hatzimtzum, before the tzimtzum. V'zehu es esfiras hagnuze b'matzil. This is actually what is referred to as the esfiras hagnuzes b'matzilon. That is spheres that are contained and treasured. Treasured means they are concealed, contained within, and hidden in the matzil, in the source. Where does matzil have to do with esespheres? Matzil is himself. No, in the matzil there is, in a very subtle manner, esespheres. When does that occur? That's when the matzil has the rotzoin to impact on the lower level. The Azeh Omar, regarding which it says, Adhu Chad. This is the Madriga, it's called Chad 1. The Pirash Chad, by the meaning of the word Chad 1, Hu Bechinas Yochid Be'etzem. Chad does not mean, Chad means first, but Chad means only one. Yochid Be'etzem, something that is in essence totally single. There is nothing in its vicinity, not in its environment. Yochid. The Hainu, and this is as Esfiras Hagnuzois. Because Hainu, and this is the as Esfiras Hagnuzois. Hem Yochodim Mamash Berin Soif. It means to say that the 10 Esfiras Hagnuzois are literally united with the Ein. In other words, how can you say that there is Chad, that there is fundamental singularity, even though you say there are 10 spheres? But there are 10 spheres, how is it single?
Where are we learning now?
We're learning we finished the Maimer, we're learning the Haysofa. That's page AYIN.
I'll text you. Do you see it there? I can text you a copy, a picture.
I'm sure he has it. This is, so far, it's completely a review of what we already learned and discussed. This is why he says that this is chad, this is a total singularity. Singularity means that there is no multiplicity that unites. There is no multiplicity, there is only single thing. How is it singularity? There's esespheres. The answer is that these esespheres are in such profound unity with the Ein Sof that there is ultimately nothing but one thing. It's like a single thing. This is what's called Yochid. And we have Mishalim galore to explain it even at our level, to be able to understand how it is that there could be a subtle presence that does that at all impact the single truth of the essence. Okay, the fourth line, Be'en Yisrael, they're united with the Ein Sof, the Gam, and then also Ho'es Spheres Atzmon, the 10 spheres in themselves, Hein Betachlis HaYichud. They're in ultimate, Tachlis means in the greatest degree, in the ultimate, the extreme Yichud, extreme union among themselves. There are There are no 10 spheres from their perspective. There is just their union with each other. The extreme union. How is this? How do we understand this phenomenon? There are 10 spheres, and yet there is no change in the union, in the unity of their source, and then in themselves there is a perfect unity. Excuse me, how is this? Behold, because as spheres hagnuza is hey bechinas alezer rotz. As a sphere is, this is the bechina, what's called the alezer rotz. Alezer rotzim, and the rotzain surfaced, came up. There's much to be said, but we already discussed it. It's explained elsewhere. The baalei zorotzoin, that at that level of baalei zorotzoin, the surfacing of the rotzoin, ho bechinas shemois loshen rabbi. This is where we have shemois, many names. Loshen rabbi, many names. Not one name, but many names. And then on the other hand, being that they are totally union with their source, because in such a perfect union, how are they multiple names if they're all representing really one thing? And then on the other hand, if there are many names, and it is it's proper to refer to them as multiple names. How is that then stay true that it is an essential singularity? And the explanation for this is, however, the principle behind this is this. That the phenomenon that at the time of Alezer Rotzen, who became a Shemesh Loshen Rabim, in Alezer Rotzen there is this aspect of Shemesh, many names Loshen Rabim, Hinezehu, behold, this takes place b'mahadrege the Ein-Sof Shelifnei HaTzimtzum. This is the Madrega of Ein Sof that precedes the Tzimtzum. So how does this explain our dilemma? Behold, it says, Atuhu Havaya Levadecha. Atuhu Havaya Levadecha. You Havaya are Levadecha by yourself. The Levadecha, where the principle of Vadecha be yourself, who Lifnei HaTzimtzum. That is true Lifnei HaTzimtzum. Before the Tzimtzum, there is only you. There's only this one thing. Right? Which means to say, and what is the point of this? Vadecha, there is nothing there to speak about. So what is the point of mitzvah Vadecha? The point in this, the Lifnei HaTzimtzum, that before the Tzimtzum, Harei Yesh Gamkein Kei Madreges Protis. That before the Tzimtzum, there is Gamkein, there is also Kei Madreges Protios, something akin to individual Madreges. Even though it's before the Tzimtzum. For the Tzimtzum there is only the Ein Sof. Therein there is Ke'ein, Okay, means something akin to Madrigas Proteus, not actual divisions, but there is, in a subtle manner, something that can be referred to as Madrigas Proteus, individual Madrigas. And this is going to be discussed very briefly. This we will leave for tomorrow, Mitzvah. All right, have a great day.